In introduction to cloud computing, what is cloud? What is computing? So computing is all about when we were using the virtualization and when we tried to achieve, the highest, you can say, high utilization from your resource. That is your computing. Means, let's suppose if you are using a simple laptop and you are using somewhat your 10% of your CPU, 20% of your RAM, and some percent of your network speed, which we capture like network in, network out. Remaining percent we are not utilizing just because of the same computing came so that you can able to utilize how much maximum you can utilize your hardware resource or any resource. So that is nothing but computing, which I have told you already in the starting of the session. So here we will start with the two things, and in each documents, guys, in each document you will be having the agenda, what you will learn. That is nothing but your agenda. In each document you will be having this agenda. What is the core of the lesson, or what exactly you are going to learn. So that is nothing but your agenda. So as you can see here, we will try to understand the value of technology. Value of technology means what technology? Cloud computing technology value we will try to understand. Why? Because let's say if you need to upload anything, if you need to purchase anything, if you need to, even if you are going to purchase anything onto Amazon.com, still you are using a cloud. If you need to send email, if you need to send photos, everywhere we are using cloud. But now we need to identify what type of cloud we are using and what is the value of technology. Parallelly, we do have the basic computing term. Basic computing term means what is RAM, what is CPU, what is computer. Those things will be coming up here. So it's not a very tough session. It is not something new for everybody. It is very basic because it's a first day. So we will try to keep it very basic. Your digital world means in your digital world what we are using generally. So whenever you are going to be online, let's say if you are online, last time if you are online, so either you purchase something on internet by using Amazon or something else, or you watch a video, you did chat with your friend, or you played a game. So you are doing these type of work on the internet. So everywhere in these four scenario, cloud is there. In this four scenario, cloud is there. And how it does work? Very simple. Let's suppose for any of the example, I'll tell you, there is a server. There is a server. Server is nothing but it is a computer. Let's suppose this is a computer. And in this computer, you are keeping some data. Data plus files, you say you are keeping some files into this computer. Now this computer, you are connecting with the public IP address. You are connecting with the public IP address. And what will happen now? If you are keeping your files or websites on server, if anybody will open the browser and they will keep the IP or domain of that particular website, they will able to get this data. So what exactly we are doing? We are not doing anything. We are just converting this computer somewhat as a server, which will be having feature to deliver the data to the client. So this will deliver the data to the client. That is, for that purpose, where is the cloud in that? If you are storing your data here, it is nothing but you are storing in the cloud. Whatever the medium you are using for sharing the data, that is nothing but internet. Internet, what exactly the internet? Internet is a global connection. Globally, everybody is able to connect through that network. That is nothing but internet. So by using internet, we are able to access the data which is available somewhere in the cloud, right? Or simply, if you see the definition of the cloud, it will look like this. It is on demand delivery. It is on demand delivery of IT resources from cloud service provider to the customer by using internet. That is only the cloud computing. That is only the cloud. So by using internet, we are delivering this data to the customer. That is cloud only. So it is telling us, if You are using any resource, it means that you are accessing the cloud, either by using your mobile phones, a laptop, or you are using game console, or you are using applications or internet. So these all are the part of your cloud itself. Moving further, if you see in your daily life, there are so many purpose. For each purpose you are using internet and cloud. Let's suppose when we talk about education, now most of the educations are online. So how the online peoples are learning? Just because of cloud and internet. Let's suppose internet now, it is the feature of cloud. You can say internet is the feature of cloud. I'll give you the brief explanation about it, why we are talking like this. So when we talk about learning something on internet through online session, again we are using Zoom. It is again a part of cloud. The same data, which data I am generating here, it is getting delivered to you all through internet. So somewhere it is storing first and it is streaming. Parallelly it is storing and streaming. It may not store, but it is doing streaming. So this is again the feature of cloud. When we need to shop something online, if you need to purchase something online, you need to visit any website, either Flipkart, Amazon, Alibaba, so and so. You are going to purchase something online, it means that again you are going to use cloud. If you need to track your finances, if you are using phone pay, Google Pay, all the pay, if you are securing your home by keeping some locks, if you are communicating others, if you are watching videos, if you are watching Netflix, these all are the part of internet in cloud only. These all are the part of internet in cloud. Now we will I'll try to bring you all somewhat in technical, guys. Somewhat in technical means what all are the resources we are using for coming online, or for accessing something. What all are the resources we are going to use here? So when we talk about resources, guys, so everything start from computer, as you all know. And here we will be learning about, what is application, what is computer, what is network, which basically runs your digital world. So for running the digital world, where you are playing the games, you are talking somebody on Zoom call, you are talking somebody on video call, you are playing games, you are purchasing something, you are paying, you are doing other. So for running that world, what all are the dependencies? So the dependencies are applications, computer, and network. So how they are running? What all are they basically? So as we know, the application basically, it is a kind of software. It is a kind of software that we are making for any specific purpose. For example, we do a mobile application, web application, and game application. It is written in any programming language. It will be having one operating system where it will lie, where it will be available. It will be available somewhere on any OS only. And as you all know, computer are computer devices like mobile phone, tablet, e-reader, laptop, desktop, web server, database server. These all are nothing but these all are your computer, are type of computer, are part of the computer, you can say. And then the network. Under the network, you do have internet, wired network, wireless network. Network means what? Network means if it is a computer, this is another computer, and you are connecting this one computer to another computer using a cable. So this cable part is nothing but your network. This is your network, right? And internet means all the computers are connected with each other. That is a global network. Internet is also a type of network, but it consider as a global network. These all are the basic things, guys, that you need to understand. I'm not going to bring what is computer, what is CPU and all, because you guys are much enough mature to understand. It is the part of this curriculum. That's why I'm showing you all these things. And when we talk about basic computing terminology, means if you speak about computer, so what other things you should know? So first thing comes computer application, top of everything. So computer application is nothing but a computer program. It is a program which will be written in these languages. You can see these all are the languages: CSS, Python, C, Java, JS, HTML, Ruby, C++. So these all are nothing but these all are the what do we say, programming language. Yes. So whenever you need to write a computer program, you will be using some code, you will be using some programming language, and you will write the code. And if you will, let's say you use a program, let's talk about Python. You have used Python programming language, and you wrote one code, and then one another code, one code, two code, three code, like that you wrote multiple code, and then you have integrated all the codes with each other for any specific purpose. Then you will be calling it as an application. That's nothing big, that is only application. And these program which you are writing in different programming language, that's nothing but your software only. So if you see, an application is a computer program. It is a set of instruction that runs on a computer to perform a specific function or a specific task. In programs, you can write in multiple languages like Java, Python, C++. Software is again synonymous with computer programs. When we talk about software, it is again a programs. Types of application, if you need to see now, if you do have different types of devices, it means that on different devices you will be running different applications in different ways. For example, we do have web application, mobile application, desktop application. Web application is a kind of your you can say it will run on a web server or application server. You can access it by using a web browser. See, here is again web, here is again web. If you need to access web application, you will be using web browser. If you need to use mobile application, you need to use mobile device. If you need to use desktop application, you need desktop computer, right? This is so simple. If you need to use IoT application, it means that you need to use IoT devices. Like you have to need Raspberry Pi, you need or Node MCU A266. These all are the few devices of IoT that you need if you need to run this application. For IoT, there is OS comes Raspbian. Raspbian is the OS basically for the device called Raspberry Pi. It is IoT device. IoT device. On that Raspbian you can consider as an IoT application, or some other application also you can keep on Raspbian. So overall, the left side, these all are the application. On the right side, as you can see, these all are the devices that we are using, right? When we talk about web server, application server, it is all about the server, guys. In the server you will be having some utility related to web, that is nothing but your web server only, right? Complete, let's say this is your computer, and on this computer you have added some of server utilities. Server utilities means it is made for delivering the data. Once you keep that, and related to web you are keeping, so this entire box you will be calling it as a web server. Web server. Now example has been given. If you take some example of web application like your if you need to go to the amazon.com, so amazon.com is your web application, and Mozilla Firefox is the you can see again one another application web browser. By using, you will be accessing this amazon.com, right? Mobile application, if you need to do shopping, you can just use mobile application by using some application itself, like your Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart, like that. Desktop application, that you all know, IoT, I have told you. Now we will be seeing the components inside a computer. As we all know, what is computer, guys? Computer is an electronic device that can calculate and manipulate data by given five multifunctional units. These all are five multifunctional units that made a computer, right? It can be your CPU, RAM, storage, network, and totally motherboard, right? So once you will integrate together, you will call it as a computer. Now we'll be seeing one by one. In the picture itself, you can see there are so many. This is your drive, this is your drive, this is your motherboard, this is your RAM module, this is your ports, this is your hard drive, this is your network card, this is your processor, this is your SSD, CPU, cooler fan, and video adapter. These all are the pictures of each component has been given to you. Now on motherboard, every component we use to fix and integrate on the motherboard. Motherboard is only a board. It is a board where you will be having some PCB designed to supply the power. PCB design or wire, you can say, we are keeping to supply the power throughout these components. In CPU, you all know, central processing unit, it is a kind of processor. If you go in deep of electronic, so there you will be learning, uh, microprocessor, microcontroller, multiple devices there you will be learning in electronics. So microcontroller, we used to call it is single purpose device, whereas microprocessor, we used to call it is microprocessor. Why? Because it is multi-purpose device. The difference between both, and when you need to understand the processor, guys, in detail, if you understand about the processor in detail, so you need to make a comparison. You can easily understand. When we talk about microcontroller, let's talk about micro first of all. Why we are calling micro? Anybody can give me any idea why do we call it micro, microprocessor or microcontroller? Anybody? It is small in size. Answer is small in size. But this is the wrong answer. Why do we call it micro? The reason is the speed of it. You speed up the processor, you speed up the controller. Basically, the speed used to be in MIPS. It means that 1 million instruction per second. 1 million instruction per second. It means that if you need to execute instruction, so one instruction will be executed in 10 to the power 6 second. One instruction will be executed in 10 to the power 6 second, and this is nothing but micro. Understand, guys? So 1 million instruction per second, generally we used to measure in MIPS only, but it is completely depends on the different devices, because when generations are getting changed, this speed is also varying, guys. So just for note sake, I can tell you 1 MIPS means 1 million instruction per second. 1 million means how much? 10 lakh, like this, right? 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. How many zero we do have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same, right? That's why we used to call micro. Now, this, what is the difference between processor and controller which we are using in the computer? So guys, remember, when we talk about processor, I'll try to find out some blank area. When we talk about microprocessor and microcontroller, so it is multi-purpose, it is single purpose. Means the single purpose it is, so you can use into robotics, you can use into robotics, you can use into IoT also. But computer we are making for multi-purpose. So for that case, you will be using microprocessor. And the speed, when we talk about speed, guys, speed of processor will be faster than the speed of controller. Speed of this will be faster and speed of controller will be small. Now there is still a question in the mind what these things are. So when we talk about the anatomy means design of the same. So how it will look like? The microcontroller will be having one small chip. In the same chip, everything will be integrated. Everything will be integrated in a small chip. Means, let's say this can consider as your small memory here. Filament you can add up memory. Here you can add your processor part. Here you can add your clock time. Like that, you can add everything on a single chip if you need to access. There will be some pins here. There will be some pins to access. This we used to call pins will be there to access it. But when it comes to the processor, a processor is a single device, and along with that you need to add, input part, input separate, output separate. As you all know, input devices are your keyboard can be input, your keyboard you will be adding, your mouse you will be adding here, output like your monitor separately you will be adding as a output. Like the same you will be adding all the devices, and this is how the anatomy of processor works. This is how the controller works. And the processor used to be much more faster than the controller, guys, because it used to be small and simple chip. Now if you need to connect something with this, we are having pins here, but like the same in the computer, if you need to connect and access something here, we don't have pin, we used to call it as a ports. We do have ports here to connect or integrate some other device. Here we do have ports, and there are multiple manufacturers are here of processor. We used to call, Intel is the, yes, Intel, AMD, they are the top manufacturer. And in cloud also, if you see, if you will see in future in cloud also, you will be getting the same manufacturer. They are also manufacturing the same processor for cloud service provider, means CSP. Cloud service provider means AWS, Microsoft Azure, and GCP. So for every company, they are again taking the processor from Intel or AMD. But remember, this processor which they are taking, this processor is completely different from our processor. Our processor used to be small, it used to be a size of biscuit, but that processor which are available into the data center, for this CSP, that used to be different. They used to give the order. They used to give the order to the Intel and AMD. They used to manufacture separate for them, because they are carrying out a good load. All the time they are using their resources. For that, they are giving separate order, and they are just getting that, not as a normal. It is a high dedicated hardware materials that are, getting manufactured by Intel and AMD for the cloud service provider. This is CPU, right? I'll not go much more in deep, guys, how the CPU is start performing the work, how it generates 0 and 1, how the signals works and all. That is the basic. Next is your memory. When we talk about memory, please remember it is nothing but your RAM. Whenever we need to store something, we talk about memory. It can be your ROM also, it can be your drive also as a memory, but this is the standard of a computer. Memory means what? Memory means when I ask something, you should remember and you need to bring it out. That is a memory. Memory means if you do have, you just bring. Memory means, let's say, how the RAM works. Let's say this is your storage. So how the memory will work? Memory will get the data from here and it will give to this particular person. So this will process this data with the CPU. This will process the data with the CPU. So RAM is your memory. When we talk about memory here, even in the cloud also, so that is random access memory, guys. That is nothing but random access memory. We do have a storage device to store the data. Like for storage device, as you can see, you do have hard disk here, you do have your SSD here, hard disk and SSD. And as you, I think you are aware about it, hard disk and SSD, the same difference we'll try to find out. Hard disk is made by magnetic plater. There will be a magnetic plater into the hard disk. It will be looking like this, a circle. It is a plate. Once this plate will rotate, we will be able to read and write the data. Whereas SSD, SSD is an small as a chip. SSD is a small as a chip. It is completely integrated, guys. It is completely integrated. Means if it is a 500 GB or 1 TB, for keeping your data, you are integrating each and every components of it in a small chip. And it used to be compact. It used to be compact, and this is not that much compact. Magnetic or hard disk will not be that much compact. Why? Because let's suppose this is one computer and this is another computer. You are taking a cable, you are transferring the data from this computer to this computer. It is a hard disk. It is a hard disk. So it will rotate and it will transfer the data. Just think as somewhat bigger. So how it does work? If data is present very close to the center, for that this magnetic plater should rotate slow to read and write the data, right? If the same data present over the perimeter of this center, sorry, perimeter of this circle, so it needs to rotate very fast, very fast. So just because of this speed variation, the data transfer, data transfer is not up to the mark as we do expect. And if you vibrate while transferring the data, if you vibrate this magnetic plater, this transfer speed will be affected. Affected means it will go low. Let's say right now you are having 10 Mbps. So if you vibrate it, it will become 5 or 1 and it will go to 0 also sometime. But when it comes to SSD, it is a chip like your pen drive. Your pen drive, you can say it is the example of SSD. So in pen drive, it does not affect whether you vibrate or not. Power supply is coming, connections are well, it will supply the speed. So right now, the same thing also you can get in the cloud. Both hard disk you also get in the cloud, SSD also you will get in the cloud. This hard disk will be cheap, but SSD will be little bit costly. As we are getting traditionally physically when we are purchasing this resource, so we are paying more for SSD, we are paying less for hard disk. Like the same, you have to do the same into the cloud. Next we do have network card. Network card we used to call NIC, network interface card of a computer. This is again a what do we call hardware. It will completely look like this. This is one hardware, and generally it is not important to keep one NIC card in a computer. You can keep multiple NIC card, network interface card. Now the name is telling network interface card. It means that it is the interface. Let's suppose either you do have router, or you do have switch, or you do have another end devices. If you do have another end devices, if you need to connect with the computer, so this you will be connecting with the NIC only. NIC, network interface card, plus your RJ45 connector you can connect and you can access. So network inter these things you will be learning in detail also in cloud, guys. So this is responsible to create an interface between your computer to the another network. It means that it is only the reason to connect one computer to another, one computer to one network or one router or switches or other device. Who is responsible? Network interface card. It is again one hardware. Right, so these all are the hardware, and coming to the software components, we do have operating system and application. Operating system, you all know how the operating system works, and on that how do we keep application. So it is giving us one by one explanation on it. So let's revise and complete it. So the first one is motherboard. So in motherboard, as you can see, in motherboard we are integrating almost all the components, almost all the component of the computer. So motherboard holds all of the core computer hardware components together, and it consists of PCB. So there will be PCB design, circuit, printed circuit board, we used to call printed circuit board. Generally any electronic device, if you break, and there will be one board, and there will be, you know, lines which will be moving like this, that is your PCB design. And on that board, this kind of design will be available, and directly or indirectly you will connect your CPU, memory, storage device, network card, video card, computer ports. These all you will be connecting or integrating directly or indirectly on this board, and that board is made on PCB. This is your motherboard, right? This is your motherboard, or sometime we used to call system board. In the next comes your CPU. CPU is the brain of your computer, brain or mind generally we used to call, and it will run instruction which it will receive from application in the OS. Whatever the instruction the user will give, according to it, it will perform. So it will do some arithmetic and logical operations. It will be controlling all the input output operations as well. And CPU comes in cores, as we call, uh, dual core, i3, i5, like that. It has multiple cores which will increase the performance. Increasing the core means increasing the performance. Dual core used to be much more slow. i3 became little bit faster, i5 more faster, i7 more faster, i9 is the fastest till now. And this is also called the processor, right? This is nothing but your CPU. And then when it comes to the memory, so memory will handle the program instruction. It will hold, basically it will hold the program instruction and the data for your CPU to run and use it. So if CPU needs to get the program, then it will contact to the memory. If CPU needs any program to run, it will contact to the memory. And CPU retrieves and store program data in memory again. Memory is temporary storage. The data is lost when the computer is turned off. It is again talking about the RAM. Remember, in the size of memory you are measuring into megabyte, gigabyte, and 1 megabyte is equal to a million bytes are correct. More memory, faster performance. It is random access memory. So there is one. Okay. So the next one is your storage device, guys. Storage device which will store your program files, application data, raw data, or any kind of data you are going to store into the storage device. Even your documents also. It is of two types: hard disk and SSD. I have told you. Drive storage is persistent. Persistent means if you keep the data here into the drive, it will be available. all the time the data will be available. If you remove the power supply, still the data will be available. It means we used to call persistent. Persistent means data will be preserved when your computer will get turned off, or your hard disk or SSD if you remove, again data will persist. And the device performance means storage device performance we do measure into MBs per second. Speed, data access speed we use to measure into MB per second, or we used to call number of input output operation per second. That is nothing but your IOPS. Number of input output operation per second you will be getting in cloud also. Remember, what is IOPS? It is number of input output operations per second. Remember, operation, input output operation per second, that is your IOPS. Now computer network that will connect multiple devices to share data and resources. That's so simple. And in the networking, everything you will be learning. So by using the network, we do connect multiple different devices with each other, such as your computer, printer, storage device, and smartphone. Either you can connect with the wire or wireless. If you connect with the wire, like you have to use Ethernet cable, and if you need to connect with wireless, you can use Wi-Fi signal. And then what is internet? Internet is the largest in most popular computer network. So internet works like this. Let's say these all are computers. These all are computers. These all are nothing but computers which are present globally, right? They all are connected with each other. They all are connected with each other. Getting internet, if you are bringing your computer, you are connecting with internet, and you are allowing others to get the data from here. It means that you are connected with the internet, means you are the part of the same network, global network. Next, we do have an IC card, network interface card, connects a computer to another computer. Or see, here it is a computer, here is a network. So you will be using network interface card to connect one computer to a network, right? If you need to communicate through internet, or if you need to communicate through a network, you will be using the same network interface card, which is this one. And this is the cable. By using connecting this, you will be using different type of network cards are available, wired and wireless. In the speed of network, you will be using in Gbps, right? And this is also considered as a network adapter, that an IC card. And then we do have operating system, manages computer hardwares and softwares, right? Operating system, guys, the definition of operating system you all know. It is a interface between hardware and user. And if you need to there will be multiple types of work will be available that you will be performing, right? Either you need to manage the process, either you need to manage the memory, either you need to manage the network, or you need to manage application, or you need to manage automation, backup. For everything you are using a single solution, that is nothing but your operating system. If you need to access operating system, either you can access by command line interface or graphical user interface. This is optional. Graphical user interface is optional. It means that in any computer, CLI you will be getting 100%. This is optional. In Windows, we are getting CLI and GUI both, but in Linux, generally Linux is very famous for CLI. These all are the example. Guys, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, Amazon Linux 2, in iOS, Google Android. These all are the examples of operating system. And AWS is Amazon. AWS is Amazon Web Service. They do have their own operating system of Linux, that is Amazon Linux 2. In the other one, they made it Amazon Linux 2023 also. Amazon Linux 2023 also. These all are two operating system is of Amazon. As Microsoft is having Microsoft Windows. Microsoft is having Microsoft Windows. Like the same, AWS is having AWS Linux 2. And Amazon Linux 2000.